This is Jeff.
This is Brandon.
We're the Film Blurs. This episode is brought to you by
Puma presents the new AC Milan third kit for the 2021-22 season. The bold new progressive jersey takes traditional design and rewrites the rules to push the boundaries and defy convention. The new AC Milan third kit creates a fearless new expression of the club's identity and challenges tradition by reimagining conventional football kits in a brand new approach that merges football and streetwear culture. Puma, we are forever faster. Puma.com.
Hey everybody, Frank Sasso from New Pod City. Saturday, October 2nd, 2021, the Trenton City Museum at Ellerslie is having an event from 11 to 4 called Paws for Paws, Raising the Wolf in Cadwalader Park. Free admission, bring your pets for a non-denominational blessing of the pets. Also, pet museum memberships will be available. Adoptions, an amazing balloon animal guy, classics used books will be there. I personally will be doing an art contest with the kids, and various other vendors will be there. Again, free admission, but register in advance at ellerslie.org. That's ELLARSLIE.org.
Get your films on with the Blurs!
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Film Blurs. We're back. We took a little bit of a break because we were doing big things, but now we're back dropping mad movie knowledge and making people mad. I am Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. Revengeman Button, a.k.a. He Who Remains, a.k.a. Uncle Jeffrey.
I'm Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. Hero Protagonist, a.k.a. The True Father of Joe's Kids, a.k.a. Papi Chulo. Still sticking Molly in your wife's butt and spanking her. I got your grandma pregnant and might stick a Molly up your daughter's butt too. How you like that? A.k.a. Rough McGruff, still pulling rip and runs. If you see people with bundles of cash, let me know. Abolish dare. A.k.a. B. Wood, the Magnificent.
Grandma's butt? In grandma's butt too?
No, Papi Chulo got grandma pregnant.
Papi Chulo got grandma pregnant. She must be a young grandma, or you got like Papi Chulo got that good seed.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the good seed. He likes gilfs.
He likes gilfs, and he's like on the keto diet. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and drinks a lot of mutamessil.
Yeah. All right, Papi Chulo. There we go. So what are we talking about today, man? We got so much news, but well,
we'll get into a little bit of news today. We'll get into some more news, for next time. But today, let's start off with the big one. Since we were away, Christopher Nolan is now, his new movie's coming out with Universal, and it's because Universal gave in to all of his demands. And I thought it was going to be Sony, because Sony, honestly, the demands that Tarantino had were a lot more how could I say this, expansive than what Chris asked for.
So wait. So we'll talk about Chris, and then we'll talk about Tarantino, because I don't know what Tarantino asked for.
It was almost the same exact stuff as this, like $100 million budget. He wanted 20% of the first cut. Must had film prints for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And the big thing for me that was crazy about his deal is he demanded that after 10 years, the rights to the movie revert to him, which is huge. And they gave him that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So he didn't ask for more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why it's kind of weird that Universal said yeah to all his demands, but Sony didn't. But one of the demands, because what Nolan wanted, and he wanted $100 million budget, $100 million budget for marketing, which is nuts. Total creative control, fine. Over 100 days in theaters, I guess. 20% of the first gross. And this is what really bothers me, because all of that, I like reading that, I'd be like, if I was a studio head, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever, man, fuck it. You're Christopher Nolan, man. what bothers me is the studio cannot release another film 3 weeks before it drops and 3 weeks after it drops. That's insane. That's totally insane to me.
When I first heard this news, I thought, wow, this is the most privileged white man thing to do. Is like your last movie was a failure on all fronts, and now you're asking for a raise.
But he has that it wasn't a failure on all fronts. It was just a failure on storytelling and just a few other things. But I mean, like I said, Tenet would be a classic had anybody else directed it.
Right.
But with that said, my man's has firepower under his belt. Like, he got Inception, he got Memento, he got the Dark Knight trilogy, he got Interstellar, he got Dunkirk. You know what I'm saying? The dude got firepower. So it's like, well, you know.
Here's the thing I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that this is going to ruin it for other directors. You know, he's asking for so much.
Is he though? I mean, the only thing that really bothers me is the
3 weeks before, 3 weeks after. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. That's fucking insane. That's 2 months.
Yeah,
that's 2 months, dude. Where a studio can't release anything but your movie. Like, get your head out of your ass.
Right. Like the $100 million for marketing, they're going to spend that anyway. $100 million budget, whatever. 20%, whatever.
Right.
But like the fact that any other movie that was slated within that time frame, within that 2 month time frame, is like, yeah, well, fuck you.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
So that
and it's a movie about J. Robert Oppenheimer. And for those of you who don't know, J. Robert Oppenheimer created the atomic bomb. So why I'm not even questioning the budget, because at this point, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood cost $100 million, and that's just like a comedy drama, but you see every dollar of that on screen. So I'm not going to say anything until I see the movie. My thing is, why can't they release anything else besides your movie over the course of 2 months?
Ego.
That's crazy.
It's simply ego. That's why Tenet, he pushed so hard for it to drop during the height of the pandemic.
Real quick before we move on, Cillian Murphy might be playing J. Robert Oppenheimer. If this comes to pass, this will be like their 6th movie together, but the first time he's in the lead role. Like, I feel like my man's he feels like Zed to me, Christopher Nolan, where he goes to his wife Emma Thomas, throws her the keys, is like, all right, bring out the gimp.
Like, what's the last movie Cillian Murphy actually spearheaded? He starred in.
I mean, he was a co-lead in Quiet Place 2 and murdered it.
Okay, I mean, but okay, I guess co-lead counts.
Yeah, so all right.
Yeah, most people know him just from Peaky Blinders. Yeah.
Well, he was in a bunch. 28 Days Later, where he showed Mini-Me lying there in the hospital bed. I was like, put some pants on, boy.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was an indie darling back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, he's an actor, man. Like, I'm not gonna shame him, man. I'm one of the best dudes working.
Yeah, no, he's a great actor. It's just like he doesn't seem like, he seems like an actor and not a star. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so this is going to be interesting.
So our next bit of moves, Paramount is going to pivot to streaming. And at this point, like, here's my question to Viacom: why not just fucking sell the company? Because if you look through those tweets, like one of the tweets that was attached to this announcement, they were charting it over the next few days after that. Paramount stock and Viacom stock just crashed after that announcement.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I can't even think of the word. I don't want to use the word stupid.
But that's stupid.
But I wish I could come up with a more elegant way to put this decision.
Here's my thing. Netflix still makes movies for theaters. Like, their movies still come out in theaters first, then it comes on Netflix. Because Netflix even said, like, in order for us to make money, we need to put our shit out in theaters.
Right.
Like, think about that. If a fucking streaming service is saying, hey, it's got to go in the theaters for us to make money off of it, I don't know what Paramount's going to do, because Paramount, they put stuff out in theaters and they don't make money as is. I don't know how, and there's nothing. Paramount Plus, I own Paramount Plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing on Paramount Plus right now where I would say, hey, this is worth the money. Like, the only reason why I got Paramount Plus was because it was discounted for this first year.
Well, I mean, I think they're banking on their Star Trek money.
Yeah, Star Trek is only going to take you so far, man.
I mean, it's taking them this far. Like
they can't even
50-year-old
It's
IP.
almost we're coming up on 10 years of Star Trek Beyond.
Has it been 10 years since Star Trek?
And they haven't even been able to make another one since then because they don't know what they want to do with it. So I mean,
yeah, and like they also have all that Nickelodeon IP.
I mean, the only thing they've really mined with that was Rugrats, and Rugrats has only been 5 episodes so far.
I hope they do All Real Monsters again.
I know Avatar's coming up, but I mean, who knows when that's dropping?
Right,
like
right.
Their whole Avatar studio stuff. So as of right now, I'm just like, Viacom, just sell the company at this point, bro. Like,
who's gonna buy it though? They've tanked the stock.
Somebody's gonna buy it. You know, one of these. Everything's becoming like a mega like corporate company. You know what I mean? Like there is no studio. You're just a conglomerate now. You know what I mean? Like some company. Like I bet you, I wouldn't be surprised if PSE&G was like, yeah, we're buying Paramount. I'd be like, yeah, at this point, yeah. Denis Villeneuve says Marvel movies are cut and paste of each other, and everybody got mad. And you know what? He's right, because after Black Widow and especially after Shang-Chi, yeah, man,
he's not
wrong at all. The Marvel formula is so old. Like, I took my godkids to see Shang-Chi. They loved it, and I sat there and I was just like, at the end of it, because I saw, and that was my first time seeing it. It was like, all right, and I was like, maybe it's me. Let me go see it again.
Right.
Use my A-list and saw it again. And I was just like, yeah, it's the fucking movie. There's no character, like you said. There's no build up, and for me, there's no character development. Like Shang-Chi doesn't learn anything.
Right, and the villain doesn't seem villainous enough. I mean, this is the Mandarin, for God's sakes. He's a 1,000-year-old warlord, and his whole entire story arc is, I miss my wife.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, but like it is cut and paste. It is product.
Yeah.
And what do you expect? It eventually, as much autonomy as Marvel's gotten, it's still under the Disney umbrella. And Disney makes products.
Yes.
Like if you look at a Disney movie, it has all the same story beats for every product, for every movie. Same thing with Marvel. Same thing with all of their animated films. Like it's just product. Star Wars is a perfect example of that.
Listen, people have been complaining about the Marvel movie formula for years. And it's really only gotten to me this year just because these past 2 movies, I'm just like, guys, really? Because you can't have, like we said, we can't have all this stuff on Disney Plus where y'all taking risks, have the character work, and have the big theatrics with it. And then you're asking us to go to a theater and pay for something that you're just like, okay, this could have been cool at home on a TV. Like,
right.
Like, I sent you the interview. Vanity Fair let Denis Villeneuve and Chloe Zhao interview each other.
Right.
And Denis Villeneuve straight up said, I'm excited for Eternals because you're not in the Marvel mold. You're not a Marvel person. And the fact that you're doing this movie makes me excited. And that's why I'm excited for Eternals. It's not because I like the Eternals, it's because it's Chloe Zhao.
Right. But she's only going to be allowed off the chain so much,
What's crazy to me is Kevin Feige was bragging about how she was making this movie, how she was building sets and shooting on locations. And he was like, look at that. That's a real sunset. And I'm just thinking to myself the whole time, this is the problem of you guys always shooting in front of green screens and shit like that. You get impressed by stuff that...
like the real world.
Yeah, you get impressed by stuff that people with budgets of less than a quarter of what you guys make do on the reg. Like, you shouldn't be impressed that somebody's shooting a sunset.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And, like, I still love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I do understand that, some of these movies, the storylines are interchangeable.
Yes.
Yes. So just because we're agreeing with Denis doesn't mean we don't like these movies. We just realize that, look, when Marvel first came out, when like the Cinematic Universe started, it was risk taking because you never saw someone put that much effort into a comic book movie,
right,
at this scale, right,
and keep it that geeky,
right, like appeasing the fan base or whatever like that. so it felt new, and it was building towards something. It was building towards the Avengers and the Endgame and all of that stuff. But if you dissect all of the movies, they all fall. They all have the same story. But it's story though. Like there's only 5 original stories in the whole entire world, and we're just remixing them. So everyone who's getting mad at Denis for saying this is like, well, we as consumers of cinema and mass media should be intelligent enough to realize that there are patterns that.
And let's hold their feet to the fire. Maybe this will wake them up and say, hey, we got to start doing more daring things. You know what I mean? We have to hold creators responsible, or else this will burn out fast if we just let it go without saying anything.
It's going to become Star Wars.
Yeah, where the shit's just going to flame out. Because there's no way that Black Widow and Shang-Chi should be the same fucking movie.
Right. Right.
So I'm hoping Eternals is good, and if Eternals is not good, then I'm just like, I'm gonna go into these Marvel movies like, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
sure,
like
whatever.
the same way I go into a Star Wars movie.
Sure, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just like, sure, whatever. And y'all Marvel fans are becoming toxic because they all attack Denis, and I'm just like, y'all are just as bad as DC fans now. And here to my fellow film journalists, please stop asking top shelf filmmakers about Marvel movies. If I had fucking Francis Ford Coppola or Scorsese or Denis Villeneuve and I got the chance to interview them, the last thing I'm going to ask them about is a Marvel movie. Because guess what? If you look at their filmographies, they're not going to engage with that. That's just stuff they don't care about. You know what I mean? That is the epitome of everything they're against.
What is the analogy that I gave you when we had this conversation offline? It's like someone going up to a rocket scientist and asking about model airplanes, stuff like that. Like, yeah, model airplanes are cool, but can we get back to talking about how I'm trying to get us to the fucking Mars?
Yeah,
it's like you have a chance to interview someone who is creating something, that is actually an artist when it comes to their craft, and you're going to ask them the most asinine fucking question. That's like meeting Jesus and saying, how did you turn the water into wine? Like, you can ask them anything. You could ask Jesus any fucking thing.
How'd you come back from the dead?
Right. What is the meaning of life?
Right. What's death like?
Right. You could ask them any question, but you ask them like, but tell me about that bread though.
So we like to real quick. We'd like to shout out a few people who passed on, some legends. Starting with Michael K. Williams. I mean, that sucks.
And especially when an older person passes, it's sad, but you kind of expect it because life. But he was what, 50 at the most?
56.
56. Dude was young.
Yeah, it was a drug overdose. It was a combination between fentanyl, some medication pills, heroin, and cocaine.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, I didn't read any of the stuff past. The initial report.
Yeah, so R.I.P. Michael K. Williams. He's a fantastic actor. He elevated almost everything he was in. So R.I.P. R.I.P. Melvin Van Peebles, badass, sweet back, sweet
Sweetback's badass song.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Love that movie.
I love that movie. But do you ever see Watermelon Man?
Nah.
Watch Watermelon Man.
Well, I'm gonna buy the box set. Criterion put out the box set last week, and then as soon as they put it out, of course, my man's R.I.P. Melvin. Mario, you're cool too. You made Posse. Posse's insane. Posse's the most insane fucking movie I've ever seen on so many levels.
Yeah, Posse. What was the movie that Mario Van Peebles directed where it's
New Jack City?
No, not New Jack City. It's the one with a bunch of dirty cops inside of a tenement building, and they're looking for gold.
Was that Fled?
No, it's not Fled. Fuck, now I gotta look this shit up.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we also want to say a shout out, and this one is also unexpected, to Norm MacDonald. Norm MacDonald is hilarious. All of his best shit was on Weekend Update on SNL because that's where he came from, is SNL. He had cancer. Rewatched Dirty Work this past Saturday, and that movie is still hilarious. And for anybody who's gonna watch it, I'm gonna give you a disclaimer. It is hella problematic, so don't come back to me and be disgusted with me. Look, the movie's funny as shit, but I understand that there's not a single part of that movie that I would tell you that I would personally endorse, except for the dead hooker joke. The dead hooker joke still has me dying. Sir, why are all these dead hookers in your trunk? Oh my God, another dead hooker.
I mean, but look, it's a movie called Dirty Work for one thing. So you get what I don't know what people are expecting, but also comedy is supposed to be dangerous and wrong.
Directed by Bob Saget.
Yo, Bob Saget's a dirty motherfucker. Have you ever listened to his stand-up?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, like that fucking Danny Tanner shit.
Yeah.
That was a front, son. That was paychecks.
Yeah. All right. But Jeff, did you find the movie?
I'm looking right now.
All right. Well, you know what? In the meantime, while you look it up, you could we'll get into what you've watched.
What you watching? What you watching? I said what you watching? What you watching?
What are you watching?
What am I watching? I last week watched the most insane fucking movie, Prisoners of the Ghostland.
What the fuck is? Oh, is that the
that's that
Nicolas Cage?
That's that Nick Cage
with the samurai sword.
Yo, so I think Nick Cage just like this is how he picks his movies. He looks. He has a stack of movies in front of him, stack of scripts. And like, which one is the weirdest? And he goes for that one, because he's Mandy, even Pig's kind of weird. But Prisoners of the Ghostland is some next level shit. Imagine if I don't know if you've ever seen Tokyo Tribe.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Check out Tokyo Tribe. It's Japanese hip hop movie, and it's hilarious. So it's like Tokyo Tribe meets an apocalyptic Western meets Escape from New York.
Okay.
All right. So Nicolas Cage plays a bank robber who gets cajoled, forced into going into the wasteland to find the big boss's adopted granddaughter. And he's only got 3 days to do it. And he's got the suit on that has explosives on his hands, right? So if he ever raises his hands in anger towards a woman, it reads his blood pressure and his hands come off. Right?
What?
Then he's got explosives on his testicles, right? So if he gets near the granddaughter and he gets all horny and stuff like that, his balls blow off. And if he does,
let me ask you a question. Was this made by a very angry feminist?
No, this was made by a very weird Japanese man. It's Sion Sono. So he did Cold. I don't know if you saw Cold Fish, the Forest of Love. He did Tokyo Vampire Hotel, and you can tell. So wait, there's more explosives on him. There's explosives on around his neck. So if he doesn't find her within the 5 days, his head blows off. And then so he's sent out into the wasteland. They give him a car. He decides to take a fucking bike, like a bicycle, into the way because he's fucking badass. Because he's Nick Cage, and he goes into the wasteland and he runs into all sorts of mutants and fucking cults and shit like that. It's fucking real strange, and I loved it. It is so super weird. And a movie is weird when Nicolas Cage is the most subdued performance in the whole entire thing.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to see it, but you know, I'll get to it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be like doing the circuit,
Right.
and people are loving it. I think it killed at Sundance too,
Okay.
which I guess they were giving out edibles that day because you know it's weird sober, but I'm sure if you're high, it's fucking next level weird. So, Prisoners of the Ghost Land.
So that will be one I'll have to save then, because that's my Sundays.
That's your Sundays. Yeah,
Laundry and edibles to watch stuff for this show.
Yeah. It's
So I only get one day to myself, and even on my day to myself, I got to do chores.
So yeah, Prisoners of the Ghost Land. I give that a thumbs up. Go see that shit because it's fucking weird as shit.
Okay.
I'm finishing up rewatching The Sopranos.
Oh, because this weekend, baby, we got
baby.
Many Saints in Newark. Oh my God, I'm falling out the mouth for that.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that.
Going to a theater for that one.
I'm so excited for that fucking movie. So I just I've gone through all of the seasons, and it still hits.
Yeah,
it's still like when Vanity Fair called it one of the greatest American television shows. Like it's true.
Bro, that fourth season where you're watching Tony and Carmela's marriage breakdown, I was just like, bro, this is some shit. Like, that is some real life shit. And the way it breaks down, you're just watching it, you're just like, fuck.
Yeah. And like it's one of those. I think it was the start of us really celebrating anti-heroes.
Yeah.
Because everyone's talking about Walter White and everything like that, but fucking Tony Soprano was the OG when it comes to assholes that you can't help but love.
All right.
Because he's a bad fucking dude.
All right. Well, let's see. We're about to get the origin. Well, not the origin, but the tale of a character who's mentioned a lot and never seen, Dickie.
Yep.
They talk about Dickie all the time.
Yeah, Dickie Moltisanti, Chris's father. And I can't wait to get that backstory.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking about this, a couple of episodes ago. Aren't they planning on doing multiple prequels?
That's what David Chase would like to do. He has stories for more, but we got, like everything, you guys got to go out and see it. You know what I mean? Go out and see it, make it a hit. Don't fucking see Venom. Go see Many Saints in Newark. Venom's 90 minutes. Venom 2.
Yeah, it's too long at 90 minutes.
And I'm gonna spoil the post-credit scene because you motherfuckers don't need to see this shit anyway. He walks by a television store display, and on it is Tom Holland.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my cinematic universe! They're looping it in.
Yeah,
good job, Sony.
Yeah. So keep that shit.
Yeah.
Keep Tom Holland away from all that Sony shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the last thing we need. Is this? Is fucking Venom cracking jokes with fucking Spider-Man?
Shield Tom Holland's eyes.
Yeah.
When you're walking down the street with your kid and you see a homeless person pissing in the corner, and you kind of hide their eyes. Let's do that. Venom's a homeless man pissing in the corner. Let's hide Tom Holland's eyes as we walk right past.
Yeah.
So I've started rewatching, or I finished rewatching the Lethal Weapon quadrilogy.
We'll call it the saga.
The saga.
Lethal Weapon saga.
And Lethal Weapon will always be one of my favorite Christmas movies. That Die Hard and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
And The Green Knight.
And the Green Knight. Yeah, because that technically is a Christmas movie. And I still love the first one, but as going back and watching the second, third, and fourth one, you can see how Shane Black, that like him not being a part of those movies, was a detriment.
He was a part of 2. They still used a lot of his OG script.
Right, but like for those who don't know, in the original Shane Black version of Lethal Weapon 2, Riggs dies.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, spoiler alert.
And that's how it should have been.
Yeah. And I'm watching the saga, and it's hella problematic.
3 is kind of boring. You know what I mean?
3 tried to be woke.
And then 4 is just wild racist.
It's wild racist, but it gave us Jet Li.
But damn. If I was an Asian person and they gave me that script, I'd be like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. I don't care if this is Lethal Weapon or not. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So like the whole entire series is really problematic, and also they're bad cops.
Yeah.
Like they are dirt. Yeah. They are dirt. Like you watch and you think, all right, they're breaking the rules, but they're getting things done. If you look at it in the lens of today, they are fucking dirty cops, both of them.
Because in the second one, fucking Murtaugh's like, oh, this money can fund my daughter's college, and Riggs is like, all right, we'll take some. And I'm just like, Jesus.
Yeah, like they're breaking and entering, no fucking warrants. They're beating up suspects, shit like that.
They beat this shit out of Leo, and he's under witness protection.
Right? Like they're... Like I still love those fucking movies, but like I feel dirty watching them. It's like, oh no, that you can't do that. That's where the Miranda. I don't think they say the Miranda rights once in all 4 fucking movies. No one gets read their rights. No,
they destroy city blocks in 2, 3, and 4, and they're still on the force, bro. In 4, they got promoted to captains.
And it's
remember that, hey, Captain. Yeah,
so I mean, they are a time capsule of a bygone age, and I still love them, but like I love them like I love a dirty joke, that you can't tell, like in mixed company.
That's dirty work for me. It's like I love that movie. I ain't gonna tell anybody who watch it.
Yeah, the Lethal Weapon saga is if The Punisher was a comedy.
Yeah, because Riggs is fucking Frank Castle.
Yeah, he's fucking insane.
Yeah, the psychiatrist is right. Like the way she talks to him, like she's right.
Let's talk. So I watched all 4 of these movies in a row, and the psychiatrist is the most set upon person in this whole entire fucking series.
Bro, he gaslights her whenever he gets the chance to.
It's like she's really trying to help him get through his trauma. It's like, get away from me, you fucking shrink. You quack.
Oh, brother.
Oogie boogie.
Yeah.
Hella fucking problematic. And they want to do a 5th one. How do you do a 5th?
Well, they can't now because Richard Donner's gone, and if he's gone, I don't want to see.
They'll put someone else.
Nah, get that.
It's not gonna be nearly as enjoyable.
Get this shit out of here.
But but even if Richard Donner was alive, how could you do that in this day and age? How could you make this fucking movie?
And you know what, man? After Lethal Weapon 4, because Lethal Weapon 4, that whole movie makes me cringe, bro. Like the fried rice shit.
Fried lice?
Yeah, the whole, man, God.
It's fried lice, you plick. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, you home. Oh.
Yeah, man.
You can't say that.
Bro. Yeah, Lethal Weapon,
yeah, they broke into this dude's dental appointment and fucking pretty much waterboarded him. To get information, and they're all laughing because they're all on laughing gas. It's like this is not funny. You're violating HIPAA laws, and yeah. So Lethal Weapon saga on HBO Max. You should give it a go. Been busy for the last couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to watch as much as I wanted to, and I'm gonna make amends for that. But I have caught up on What We Do in the Shadows, the 3rd season. I'm not sure if I like it anymore.
I've only seen the movie, man.
Yeah,
I've never seen the show.
The first 2 seasons of the show were amazing. They were hilarious, and I during quarantine, they were like rewatches for me. Like shows that you would just put on, and they would bring you comfort. You didn't have to watch them because you've already seen them.
Right.
This 3rd season. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who's actually watching the show or wants to watch the show, but they're no longer the underdogs in season 3, and that was kind of the charm of the first 2 seasons. But it's still really weird. It's really still sexually charged, still mildly offensive. The last episode I watched, episode 5. So they're in the Vampire Council, and they have a HR video.
Oh boy!
And the HR video is 2 seconds long. Is pretty much do whatever you want because you're a vampire, and so they have the council has days set aside for just inappropriate diddling in the office, and I found that hilarious but disturbing.
Sounds like it's hilarious but disturbing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been watching.
I forgot to talk about it last episode, but over the what was it? Not Memorial Day, Labor Day. Over the Labor Day holiday, I binged all of Cobra Kai on Netflix, and I like it better than the movies.
Oh yeah, oh definitely. I haven't seen season 3 yet.
What?
I'm waiting.
We'll talk about it more once Jeff sees.
All right, so this week, I want the fans to hold me to this. I'm going to watch season 3 so we can talk about all of that next week.
Okay. Star Wars Visions dropped last Wednesday on Disney Plus. It's a series of shorts. They're like anime shorts. This shit is the best shit they've done in a long time, just because it's just a bunch of Japanese storytellers telling whatever fucking story they want because they can, and none of this is canon. There's only really 2 episodes I wasn't really fucking with because I was just like, this is just stupid. And I get why they're doing it because that's part of Japanese culture, but I'm like, this is stupid. But everything else, nothing but hitters. Nothing but hitters, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to watch that since last week.
And it's violent.
But like I said before, I'm kind of Star Wars'd out, and I'm glad they're doing something interesting. I'm glad there's no fucking Skywalkers in this.
I will say this. I will hold their feet to the fire for doing this and making really good shorts because it is hard to do short films. Like real hard. Like they have a short, Pixar's doing shorts now on Disney Plus, like called Spark Shorts. And one of them is called Nona. Nona's really good. Shout out to Luis Gonzalez. Dude, your short is amazing. Nona's about like a Hispanic abuela, which abuela is a grandma. She has to look after her granddaughter, but she's like really into wrestling. So that's like clashing with what she wants to do. Also have another short called 20-something. 20-something's about a black girl who just turned 21 and she has all this anxiety about being an adult and being in a social situation. And I empathize with that a lot. I liked it. Both of those shorts are on Disney Plus. Watch that. Watch Star Wars Visions. Great. Keeping it moving. Ghost in the Shell IMAX. They put that back in IMAX for a week. The original anime, not the fucking Scarlett Johansson whitewashed.
Not the problematic.
Not the whitewashing. Yeah, but still dope. I don't fuck with anime, but you know that's one of the few things. Right. Yeah, that's one of the few things I still fuck with. It was in full IMAX. So it took up the entire screen. I was surprised by that.
Not full IMAX, but like theater IMAX, right? Like cinema IMAX, not like that big globe.
What do you mean, like Neshaminy IMAX?
Neshaminy IMAX.
Yeah, it's Neshaminy IMAX, right. Digital IMAX. We'll say real IMAX and digital. So yeah, right. So if you see it in digital IMAX, it took up the whole screen for that digital 1.90 aspect ratio because IMAX has 2 aspect ratios. 1.43 is real IMAX, 1.90 is digital. So it took up that whole thing. 1.90's beautiful transfer, 4K transfer. Sound was great. I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, I mean,
it still holds up.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you love it DVD, you're gonna love it blown up and see it in the screens. You know, like there's nothing new. They didn't add anything new, right?
No.
Yeah, so it's all just a pristine transfer.
Yeah. I would like to also say Eyes of Tammy Faye was okay. Nothing special. Performances are what really makes that movie stand out, and that's about it.
So it was no I, Tonya, huh?
No. Yeah. So we'll keep that moving. We'll move right into Blue Bayou. Blue Bayou is Justin Chan's film about him. He wrote, directed, and starred in it and produced it. He plays this man who's of Korean descent but was adopted. And because cops, it takes place in Louisiana, because, cops in Louisiana, he gets arrested and going to be deported. But his wife's played by Alicia Vikander, and she's pregnant with his kid. It's going to be her second kid because he adopted her first daughter. Mm-hmm. So now the movie's about him trying to do everything in his power to not get deported. And he made this movie because he wanted to bring to light how fucked up it is, how kids are adopted but could still be deported.
Right.
Even though they were adopted by and raised here in America as babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
yeah.
It's your standard indie. It ends in the typical indie fashion where I'm like, yeah.
Well, we knew that was going to happen.
So...
Right.
Blue Bayou. It's award season, baby. I'll tell you that. As soon as the movie ended, I finished the screener because I got a screener for that. And as soon as the screener's done, I was like, yeah, it's award season.
Get ready for a bunch of well shot but depressing movies coming your way.
Hey, we're in sad white people season.
Oh, I love sad white people season.
So continuing with that, I rewatched Incendies, which is Denis' last French-Canadian film. Incendies, I'm not going to tell you what it's about. You should discover it on your own. Just know that it is rough, like a lot of Denis films. Denis films, even his Hollywood films, are just rough watches. The only one that's not rough is Arrival. Like, but everything else, like Prisoners, it's rough. Sicario, rough. Blade Runner, yeah, pretty rough. It's rough because it's a challenging movie, not because of the content.
Right. It's a thinker, but it's not like visceral.
Yeah, so Incendies still holds up, and I'll be talking about Denis briefly at the end. Spectre, finished my James Bond Craig rewatch. Spectre still fucking sucks. I rented it because I wanted to finish out because, Spectre's going to lead right into No Time to Die. This was I watched it with my brother and his girlfriend. It was their first time seeing it. And they turned to me. They're like, well, that was a movie. My biggest problem is the script. Like, shout out to Hotime von Hotime. Shout out to Sam Mendes. They did their thing. Everybody does their thing in this movie. It's just the fucking script is... This shit is terrible. It's basically like Blofeld basically pulls the fucking Vince McMahon where he goes, it was me, Austin. It was me. It was me all along. I hate that shit. It's so lazy where like 4 or 5 movies and then the bad guy's like, yeah, all that shit that happened in those previous 4 or 5 movies, it was me. It's one of the reasons why I hate the sequel trilogy where the Emperor's like, it was me all along, baby.
I was pulling all the strings.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck out of here. That's so lazy. Yo, guys, stop doing lazy writing like that.
Right.
Copshop. I went to I got a press screening of Copshop.
I want to watch this movie.
I think it is Joe Carnahan's best movie that he's done in a minute. I thought it was entertaining. Is it going to change your world? No, but it's worth a rental once it comes out, like a nice $4 on-demand rental.
Talking about my man Joe Carnahan, what's your favorite Carnahan movie?
It's a toss-up either between Smokin' Aces or Narc.
I'll give you...
and I love A-Team.
Yeah, I was about to say Narc or A-Team.
A-Team is so fucking fun.
Right, like...
I'm so mad we didn't get a sequel.
Right, oh...
Like that and Man from U.N.C.L.E., man.
I never saw Man from U.N.C.L.E.
What?
Yeah, I know you love that fucking movie.
That's Guy Ritchie, my nigga.
Oh, yeah.
Guy Ritchie.
Right. Going back to A-Team. It's such a fun fucking movie. It perfectly cast, and it knew what it was.
Yeah,
a lot of these like we're gonna turn a TV show into a movie. We gotta add all sorts of backstory and everything like that. Like none of that bullshit here. Like just fucking they flew a tank.
Oh man, I gotta go home and rewatch that shit. Watched for the first time yesterday. Last Action Hero.
Really?
I did not know. Schwarzenegger made a whole movie parodying his whole career and himself. That's crazy.
Yeah. When I first watched it, I didn't get it because when I first watched it, I was younger. Also, I saw it in theaters. But as an adult watching the shit, it's like, yep, I get it.
My only thing is the movie's 2 hours and 10 minutes. The shit should have been an hour and a half because goddamn, once it hits those last 30 minutes, I'm just like, yo, I wanted to bring out the Chappelle box and hit that wrap it up button. Like, wrap it up, B.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, but no, that was peak 90s cinema right there.
Yeah, everything about it screams 90s. So, it was meta before meta was
a thing.
Yeah. And before self-awareness was a thing, you know what I mean? Because everything's self-aware now to point out how dumb it is. Watch Batman Ninja.
That's on the list.
I loved it just because I love samurai shit. I love feudal Japan shit. And I love Batman. 2 problems I have with it is, for one, that dialogue seems like it was written by a fucking 10-year-old. That dialogue is awful.
I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you.
Bro, it's bad. And number 2, the whole arc Batman goes through in this is like, oh man, I'm Batman without my technology. How am I going to be Batman? I'm like,
well, you're still Batman.
Yeah, man. Like that's my only further problem. Like he loses his technology and then he's questioning how can he be Batman. I'm like
you're still the world's greatest detective.
Yes.
You're still like a registered lethal weapon with your hands.
Yeah.
Like you still know like 15 different types of combat. you're still Batman.
Yeah. I mean, it was worth it though, just to see the Joker and Batman have a fucking samurai sword fight. Like that shit. I'm gonna rewatch it just for that. You know what I mean? Now we're gonna slow it down a little bit. We got Sex in the City. Last time I left off, I was 3 or 4 episodes into season 2, and it really took off in season 2. That's where the show kind of comes together, and it's entertaining so far because I'm like 6 episodes into the final season. This show in season 2, it finally became aware. Maybe it's because Sarah Jessica Parker had more creative control and more people had creative control outside of Darren Star.
Right.
The show does realize, and the women, that these women are awful. You know what I mean? And they calls them out for being awful people. That's why I'm enjoying the show. Is like you're watching them fuck up constantly on stuff that normal people would be like, you shouldn't do that. Right. Yeah. Samantha is really the only character I really fuck with because she keeps it real. She's like, yo, listen, this is what it is. This is what you're gonna get, and that's it. It's just like,
well, I'm glad that you've given it a chance, and your opinion of the show has gotten more positive.
Well, all the women who were so happy that I was watching this show,
right?
I told them like, yo, I'm actually really digging it now because the first season, I told them all, I was like, yo, the first season it was just fucking awful. They're like, yeah, the first season's bad, and I was like, okay, good, because it was so bad that Sarah Jessica Parker didn't even want to do the fucking show,
right?
So I mean, like, I'm glad the show calls out these women on their toxic bullshit, and I'm glad also that they're not afraid to call out the men on their toxic bullshit. Like the fact that she keeps going back to Mr. Big, I'm like, baby, you don't need this shit. There's only so many chances you should be giving a person. This motherfucker has used up all of his chances. Bro, you're like 45 and you're still like walking around like you a pimp, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
pimps can be 45, baby.
Yeah, that's why he's 45 and alone, still calling Carrie every night. And Carrie's like, yo, I got other shit I got to do. Click. Yeah.
So are you going to watch the movies after this?
Yes. I'm going to hopefully try to finish up the season this week or this weekend and then start the movie hopefully Sunday. Watch the first movie Sunday. And if I can't get to it, then it'll be soon. But yeah, I'm watching both movies. And because I'm a team player for New Pod City, I will be watching the Revival.
So when does the Revival drop?
February or March, April. It's a while.
Yeah. All right.
It's an entertaining show, though. I got to say, it's really entertaining. It's nice to come home after a day of like bullshit and just watch something that you don't have to think hard about. And it's just like, easy breezy.
Yeah. I mean, I've never completed a season, but every time I've watched an episode, I've kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to hate Miranda a lot. Miranda's the redhead played by Cynthia Nixon.
Right.
Miranda kind of chills out. Now I get her anger now that she's kind of chilled out and she's not really Komodo dragon. Who really gets on my nerves now is Charlotte. Charlotte is a wasp, and woo.
Well, just like how I hated Shoshana in the first season of Girls, and then she slowly became my favorite character for my watch of that. So yeah,
I stopped after the first episode. I was like, yeah, nah, fuck this.
Oh, yeah. You never watched the other two seasons of Girls?
That was on for a while, man. It was more than 2.
I thought it was only 3 seasons.
It was 6 seasons.
Girls was 6 seasons?
Yes.
Then I stopped watching after 3.
Yeah, we Bored to Death and How to Make It in America both got canceled for that show. That's a travesty.
Wow, I didn't realize it was on for 6 seasons.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so my other thing I will get into is Dear Evan Hansen. I got a screener for that a couple of weeks ago. So they emailed me the same email I got an email for Dune, which I'll get into, and then like an hour later after I got Dune, I got emails for Dear Evan Hansen. They're like, okay, we have 2 in-person screenings and they're going to happen right now soon. Or you could get a digital screener and it'll activate Sunday. I was like, I'll just take the digital screener. I don't care that much.
Right.
And boy, was I glad I took the digital screener. Because if I had went to New York City to sit through this shit, somebody would have been murdered. One of those Universal publicists would be dead. This movie's despicable.
Despicable?
It's despicable. Nobody in this is good. Like, everybody in this movie is a fucking asshole. The way they portray mental health is irresponsible. The main kid, Connor, I didn't even know he was bipolar until after I talked about it with people. Like, yeah, he was bipolar. I was like, oh, okay. So a lot of that now makes sense because Connor in the movie, he's just a fucking huge prick. Like, he's a huge prick. He's a prick to everybody. People make fun of him. He becomes an even bigger prick, and then he kills himself. And now that he's bipolar, I'm like, well, maybe we should have had like a scene or two from his fucking point of view. I don't know. Evan Hansen has social anxiety. Like, watching this movie, they never say it, but watching how he acts and how he takes the pills and how he reacts to people coming up to him, like, homeboy has social anxiety. And you're going to have somebody with social anxiety just like spin this lie of this dead person's memory and just make himself big. And I get like that's despicable, but it's also despicable on everybody else's part, especially the mom, because he tries to tell Connor's mom, like, yo, we weren't friends. Like, that was a note I wrote to himself. And she's like, no, he wrote it for you. He was like, no, I wrote this note. And she's like, no. And then she grabs his arm and she's like, Connor signed your cast? He was like, yeah, by accident. He just took pity on me, man. And she's like, no, where you guys seem like you were friends. This note, he signed your cast. And it's just like, well, I mean, at that point, yeah, he's going to lie to you.
Right.
A dude with social anxiety and you're just pushing him. The only reason why that note was taken, because Connor took the note from him, is because he mentioned his sister. His sister's played by Caitlin Dever. Evan has a crush on his sister. And I'm just like, bro, there's just so much there that's just bad. Like, everybody in this movie is a piece of shit.
I really want someone who's seen the play to like write us and chime in and see, like, is it more nuanced in the play?
I've heard the play is just as bad. I've heard from people who've seen both the play and just the movie, and people who've seen the play loved it and hated it. People who loved the play don't like this movie. People who hated the play said the movie actually makes improvements in some of the storytelling department.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how shitty these characters are in the play. Like, they're just, everybody's shitty. Also, I like to say, shout out Caitlin Dever if you're listening to this. What up, ma?
All right, so dear Evan Hansen, I will bypass that.
That depiction of people's mental health like that is so irresponsible.
Well, you know me, I'm a big proponent for mental health awareness and, you know, the accurate description, you know, depiction of that. The fact that a movie like this exists and it failed.
Bro, you know how much it made this past weekend?
Oh, it made all the money, right?
$7.5 million.
Of course.
This shit is DOA. Remember, this is theaters only, so there's no excuse.
I mean, how much? What was the budget to make it?
Probably like 40 or 50.
Okay, well, you know.
You will be found. All right, and real briefly, because I don't want to get into it too much, because Jeff asked me not to, and I won't.
Because I want to talk about this when we've both seen it.
There's a lot to talk about, too. That's why I also probably shouldn't, just because this is such a thematically rich film. I've dreamed about this movie, like literally dreamed about it after I've seen it. Like, it's literally wormed my way into my brain. Like Dune. I saw Dune 3 weeks ago on the giant IMAX, the 8-story one. 90% of the movies in that full 1.43 aspect ratio. So like when Denis says, yo, you have to see it in IMAX, he's not kidding. This movie makes me hate Game of Thrones more, because I know we all say how much Star Wars stole from it.
Right.
Game of Thrones bit almost everything from Dune.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One thing I will say is I was sober when I saw this, like dead sober, because I was so excited to see it. Like, I wanted full everything there. I want my full facilities there.
Right.
Watching this movie. See it sober your first time, just because they're throwing a lot at you in this movie. And by that, I mean like the language, the lore, what's going on, and expects you to keep up. It doesn't explain. But I will say, by the end of it, you understand everything that's set up in this movie's paid off. My thing is, and I'm going to warn everybody listening to this, I'm going to warn you, Jeff, it's literally the only thing preventing this from being a masterpiece is that it is literally the first half of this story.
Okay.
So when they say part one, they ain't fucking kidding.
Right.
And this is where Warner Brothers fucked up. Denis said for several reasons he couldn't make part one and part two, even though he wanted to. And I know some of those reasons are Warner Brothers, because this movie has been playing for 2 weeks now overseas. Mm-hmm. It's been overperforming overseas, which is great. everybody, when I go on Twitter and translate tweets from all these people who've seen it, all they keep saying is, okay, where's part 2 coming out? When's part 2 coming out? There was a Q&A with Rebecca Ferguson and Timothée Chalamet and one of the producers, Mary Parent, after my screening. The Q&A was bad because the moderator just sucked. I was like, dude, you're a shit moderator.
Did he ask if they liked Marvel movies?
No. But one of the things he kept asking about was part 2. Like, almost all the questions he was asking was about part 2. And I'm like, dude, we just saw this. Like, ask some questions about this. You keep talking about part 2. And they keep having to skirt around it just because, like, they can't talk about it because it's not. They
haven't even started production yet.
No. And another reason they fucked up is because Warner Brothers, when it was time for them to see it, it was like the beginning of August, late July. Denny said, okay, we rented out the real IMAX at City Walk, which is like the 7-story IMAX in LA. It's the real IMAX in LA. He was like, okay, we rented this out. All AT&T and Warner Brother execs, you got to come see it. And they're like, why can't we get a screener? And he's like, no, I want you to see it in theater. They're like, but we want a screener. He's like, no. You motherfuckers paid for this.
Right. Watch what you paid for.
Yeah. He's like, I want you to see it this way. And they're like, all right, fine. And after they saw it, they were all just like, oh, okay. Yeah, and that's when they realized,
we fucked up.
Yeah, apparently from there, one of them said, apparently, this is rumor.
Right.
One of the execs went up to all the other execs, said, we should have had them film these 2 parts back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what everyone was telling you.
Yeah.
You know, you can't half-ass your fucking epic movie.
So I need you guys to go out and force and see this shit in IMAX or on the biggest screen possible. This is a once-in-a-lifetime movie. Like, everything about it is amazing. Even the score. Like, I wasn't expecting this from Hans Zimmer, of all people, but he delivers a score. The way I could describe this movie, it is like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Game of Thrones done by Richard Wagner.
Oh, that's bold words, man.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, the movie's fatal flaw. It's literally
right. We don't know when part 2 is coming out,
and it's only half. It's only half the fucking story because like where it stops, I was like, oh wait, what? I was like, that's not even an ending, bro. And I talked to people who've read the book. They're like, where does it leave off? And I tell them where they leave off. They're like, bro, that's not even halfway through. I was like, shit. I was just like, this movie's 2.5 hours. That means part 2 is going to be like 4 hours. They're like, possibly. Because there's still like 5 characters who haven't even been introduced.
Do you think they're going to do like one of those things where they do a part 2 and a part 3 just to make sure everything's in there, or they're just doing a part 2?
Well, from what I understand, Denny said it's going to be Dune part 1, Dune part 2, and then he's going to take some time off, come back and do Dune Messiah, and if he still has it in him, he's going to do Children of Dune, and then that's when he walks away. Somebody asked him, they're like, so what's good with the TV show, The Sisterhood of Dune? He's like, I'm not talking about it. They're like, why? Why not? He's like, it's in development. And when anything's in development, I don't like talking about it. And I was like, all right, I respect that. But like,
it's like walking on eggshells though, or, it's sort of like, it's always in development is a precarious place to be.
Yeah.
Because it could, someone could get pissed off and it could all fall apart.
Yeah. Yeah. That bass and that score, everything, I felt that shit in my chest though, bro. Like the music and the explosions, all that shit. I was just like, yo, what the fuck, man?
I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, man. I've been thinking about it since I've seen it because, like I said, it's so thematically rich. Like I guarantee you're gonna have to that Dune. Whenever we do Dune, you're gonna have to carve out like 40 minutes just to talk about the thematics of it. In addition to like the making of it, just
game.
Yeah, so please, yo motherfuckers, don't let this flop. Go see it. Like I need part 2. I want to live in this world. Like I want to be able to go to Arrakis again and again for like the next 10 years.
If you went out to watch Shang-Chi, you can go out to watch this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Come on, man. I don't think you're gonna get something on this grand of a scale in a long time.
Yeah.
So,
all right, there we go.
Let's move into trailer talk.
Roll camera and action.
It's time for some trailer talk.
All right, so let's start off with the Cowboy Bebop opening credits. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's accurate. Like, what can I say? Like,
I'm mad. I was like
that it might be good that the show they might have done it.
Yo, because Netflix, they got a track record of missing more than hitting. I wasn't expecting them to be this accurate. Like this is the theme song from the original show.
Well, I mean, it's that opening credits,
is Cowboy Bebop.
Is iconic.
Yeah.
So you can't fuck with that. You can't do a Cowboy Bebop show, like live action show, and not stick the landing with at least the opening title sequence. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Where's the little girl?
I don't know.
Because everybody's in it except for the little girl. Because even the dog's in it.
I'm not sure.
You know who I'm talking about, right? From the original cartoon.
I haven't watched Cowboy Bebop in literally 10 years.
Yeah. So
I mean, like, you could tell me everything is missing, and it's like, okay.
All right. Well, yeah.
But it looked good. It looks slick. It looks like it gets the vibe. It looks fun.
Well, as soon as I finish Sex and the City, I know what my next rewatch is going to be.
Cowboy Bebop. Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop's only like 20 episodes anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So, the Matrix Resurrections.
I am so horny for this fucking movie.
What's exciting about this is that it looks and feels different from the first three, and that's what I want more stuff to be. Is like, I want stuff to feel detached and different from what I used to, because now I'm going into this and I have no idea what to expect, and that's awesome.
Right. I'm glad that they got the nostalgia formula right.
Yeah.
Where I want something familiar, but I also want something new.
Yes.
And this hits. This hit me so hard. I got so excited for this.
That shot with the door, where the fucking door rotates, where they're walking through it, I was like, what?
And you got to think, all right, so how long has it been since the first Matrix came out? Well, that came out in 98.
Like, it's almost 20 years, man.
20 years. All of the advancements in technology, all of the new cinematic techniques that have been developed over the last 20 years is being thrown into this, right? Say what you will about the Wachowskis, or Lena's directing this, right?
Yeah, just Lana.
Just Lana. They have always been next level visualists.
Oh, yeah.
So I can only fucking imagine what this is like. The stuff in the trailer, just like the stuff in the first Matrix trailer, is nothing compared to what we're going to get.
Somebody went to a test screening and they said, as far as they're concerned, the Wachowskis are in two modes. They're in either Jupiter ascending mode, where they're just throwing everything, going balls to the wall crazy,
right,
or they're in Cloud Atlas mode, where they are pushing storytelling forward and just visuals forward. And he said this is more along the lines of Cloud Atlas. And I love Cloud Atlas. Cloud Atlas is under fucking rated.
Because it's a movie you have to watch more than once.
Yeah,
you will understand.
I read the book, and even the book is like, it's rough to read just because it is a literal Russian nesting doll. So once the story gets to, because you know how all those stories interconnect in that movie? Mm-hmm. For the book, you read one story, you get to like the middle part of the story, the next story starts. Get to the middle part, it starts. And then once you get to the middle of the book, you start and end the middle story, and then it brings the other story back. It brings the other story back. It brings the other story back till you finish the first story that kicked off the book.
Right.
So.
Yeah. It was a dense book. It's a dense movie, and people were used to. People don't like to think.
No.
When they go to movies.
No.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying, see Dune.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, so it's something, but at least with Dune, it's got enough action where people will engage,
especially that last hour. Like the last hour of the film is just relentless.
Yeah, so that'll get people in there, but you got to kind of spoon feed your knowledge with a whole bunch of explosions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I'm fucking hyped for this. I was like, because when they first announced this, I was like, all right, maybe I might save this for HBO Max. But after this trailer, I was like, all right, let me go to IMAX. I'll go to the digital IMAX. Unless they announce they shot in real IMAX, then I'll go for that. But this is gonna be digital IMAX. Can't wait. Oh man, I can't wait. That trailer blew me away. Like they weren't kidding. They weren't kidding.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Shit, I might go home and watch the trailer once we done with this shit. You know what I mean? All right. So CSI Vegas, I can't believe we're bringing this show back.
Of course.
Like this show, by the time the show was ending, it was already beating a dead horse, and now they are kickstarting that horse again.
Look, it is what it is. I'm sure if you were a CSI fan back in the day, you're gonna love this.
I was a CSI fan, and I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, but like it looked interesting enough. I was never a CSI fan. Like if there was an episode on and there was nothing else to watch, I was like, all right, sure, whatever. I got an hour to kill. I'm not chomping at the bit for this. It looks competent, and they brought everybody back that they could. I think.
Yeah.
At least from the first.
No, the only people they brought back was Grissom, who was the main CS. That's William Peterson. His wife. They had that long romance on the show, so she's back, and then the cop.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I mean, it looks slick. It looks slick like the first iteration looks slick.
Bringing this shit back. All right. Belfast. This looks like Kenneth Branagh's best directed movie in a minute. It don't look cheap.
It doesn't look cheap, but it looks like Oscar bait, though.
It looks like good Oscar bait. Like it looks good to me.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing to say. Like it looks beautiful. I got nothing to say. Yeah, like it's all right. I'll watch it when award season comes around.
Okay. A Journal for Jordan. Shout out to Denzel for making a Black Lifetime movie, man. I'll watch it.
Right?
Listen, I'm not mad at that.
It looks like something that a lot of people's grandmothers are really gonna like.
Yeah,
that's all I can say about that. It looks like it's gonna tug on all the heartstrings. If you have a heart,
I'm gonna watch it, man.
Yeah,
you know, I'm gonna go see it because you know what, man, it's rare we get Black Lifetime movies.
Right. Look, I fucks with Denzel the long way, so I mean, I'm not gonna see it, but I'm not excited for it.
Yeah,
you know?
I get you. All right. Speaking of Denzel, the tragedy of Macbeth. I can't believe we're getting another art Macbeth because we just got Justin Kurzel's Macbeth, and that was fantastic with Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard.
What was that? What was that? 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Yeah. I was just like, yo, man, nobody showed up for that one. Like, y'all gonna show up for this? Like this, that was fantastic.
Like no one shows up. No one shows up for Shakespeare, man.
They did for Romeo and Juliet, in the 90s.
That was slick and MTV generation.
Yeah. So look, all respect to Joel Cohen. I don't, and all respect to everybody because Frances McDormand and Denzel. This should be the last Macbeth. We don't need no Macbeth. Like
I mean, I love the Macbeth story, and to have this caliber of talent in front of the lens and behind the lens, like I'm here for it. Like this might be the definitive, like modern version. Of Macbeth.
Yeah. Moving on, we'll move to Red Notice. The Rock seems to be like in Marvel mode now, where he's just making the same fucking movie.
But you know what? I'm here for it. Like
I guess
The Rock and Ryan Reynolds doing buddy cop sort of like bad, like shit, FBI versus criminal shit. Like it's fine. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be something that you watch at like 2 a.m. on Netflix when you can't go to sleep.
Man, Rock, man, you starting to be like Marvel, dog. Go weird, do something weird, take some risk. Maybe that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean,
And let's move to our final trailer. I can't wait for this shit. Moonfall.
Yo. I love big scale, dumb planetary destruction shit.
This looks retarded.
It looks dumber than what was it with the Geostorm?
Yeah,
it looks dumber than Geostorm. And Geostorm
it was stupid.
Fucking
oh
dumb.
Man,
what I just rewatched 2012.
That was stupid. The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh my
Remember
God.
The Day After Tomorrow where they outran the cold?
Yo, Roland Emmerich, don't stop being you, dude. Like you know who you are.
You IMAXing this?
Gotta IMAX this, son. You got to.
It's coming out in February.
That's all we gotta say. If you want to see
the moon crash into to Earth,
If you want to watch some just like, oh, science is bullshit. We're just gonna make up science and things that could never happen, or 1 billion to 1 odds of stuff happening. but like a new metal soundtrack and your favorite stars in it running from shit. This is it.
Oh man. I got nothing else to say. I might need a ride. That's all I know. I might need a ride.
Oh yeah. I got you. Moonfall. Telling you, it's gonna be the best movie 2022.
Lionsgate.
Yo, let's talk about.
Yo, go ahead.
Lionsgate, what are you doing, baby? What's going on, man? You want to talk? Yo, you need a hug? You need a hug, son?
Oh my God! All right, let's move into the main reviews.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the Film Blurds feature film review.
All right, so we'll start off. Let's start off with Malignant. This is a movie I absolutely forgot I even saw. I hated it. I was giving James Wan the benefit of the doubt, and I regret that shit.
Okay, so I beg to differ. Do I think this is a good movie? In no slight sort of terms, no, it is not a good movie. But, okay, James Wan, I fuck with him the long way for getting the budget to remake Basket Case. And if you don't know what Basket Case is, it's one of those trash movies from the 80s, okay? It's about this dude who has a removed conjoined twin named Belial, who he keeps in a basket, and Belial is jealous of whatever relationships this dude, his brother, gets into, and he murders. And they made 2 of those. It's by the same guy who did Frankenhooker. It's in the same vein as Street Trash. These are bad, weird 80s fucking films, right? And Malignant is a bad 80s horror film with a big budget.
It reminds me of like the Italian Gallo film.
Yeah, like from the camera work.
Yeah,
and you have to admit the scene where the main character is running through the house and they do the top down.
See,
that was inventive.
That would have been cool if I hadn't seen it in all the fucking previews. Like every time I turn on HBO Max and play something, they would show that clip like from James Wan, and it would have all of his work over that shot. And I was like, bro, this is the best shot in the movie. Would have loved to see it in a movie. That's why I don't really like watching previews too much.
Right. So like if you take it as an homage to like 80s trash cinema, then it hits. But like I said, it's a bad movie. Everybody's overacting. By the end of it, I was screaming at the screen, "Bitch, stop screaming!" Like that, because that's all she did. Like it became annoying.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then like the whole entire John Wick kung fu.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
This is a bad movie.
Yes.
But it was meant to be a bad movie. I believe that in my heart.
Wanda Sykes, the cop.
Yo, Bizarro Sykes. Bizarro Sykes, yo.
I was like, this is Wanda Sykes. First scene, she eating a lollipop.
Right over a dead body. It's like, okay, all right. As soon as we saw the intro, like the VHS intro, and like the mayhem with the push-ins on the camera and stuff like that. Oh, I know what I'm here for. I know what this is. Yeah, I know exactly what this fucking thing is.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's give it up for fucking Bizarro Sykes. And it was weird and it was bad. Let's talk about the husband.
Oh, who's there and then gone after he pushes her into the wall?
Yo, he is he's Joe level asshole, right?
Yo, where he was just like, how many miscarriages you gonna have? I was like, you gonna say that to your wife? Like, Jesus Christ.
It's like your pregnant wife comes in the room and she's telling you that she had a hard day. You don't even turn down the volume on the TV. It's like, oh,
wearing the shoes in the bed too.
Right.
Like a fucking asshole.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is 80s trash cinema, and I think it was meant to be 80s trash cinema. So I think everyone who's hating on this movie went into it expecting, another Conjuring or something like that.
I mean, that's what I was expecting from James Wan, but I guess my man's is just in Aquaman mode now, where he's just going to make goofy films.
Right. He got them to pay for a weird Frank Hintelaer fucking movie.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw, within the first 10 minutes, like, okay, I see. I see what you did here.
Yeah.
Bait and switch, baby. Bait and switch.
So, I got nothing else to say. It's on HBO Max. That's where you should watch it.
Don't go to the theater.
I went to the theater to see it because I wanted to give James Wan the benefit of the doubt, and never again.
Yeah, so this is, I guess we're making the difference. We both agree that this is a bad movie, but I enjoyed the badness.
It's because you didn't pay to see it in a theater.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I didn't pay to see it either, but I saw it in a theater. I had to make an effort to go to the theater.
Yeah,
I regret that. From now on, man.
That's what you do for making an effort.
James Wan, I guess he peaked for me with The Conjuring.
Yeah, I mean, I beg to differ. I think that
I will watch Aquaman 2 just because now I know what to expect. But
I think he's making he's in making movies that inspired him to make movies. So that's. But I'm saying this. I'm putting this out into the as if I know what he's thinking. He could have just made a really bad movie, accidentally.
Oh yeah. Before we move on, real quick, what do you think of Aquaman's new suit? The stealth suit looks like shit.
It looks like that grim dark bullshit that
Bro, Arthur just got the regular Aquaman suit. He hasn't even worn it for a whole 30 minutes. Let him rock in that gold suit for a minute.
But it's part 2, baby. You gotta up the suit game.
Do we need to? Jesus Christ.
DC, yes, you need to. It probably has missile launchers in it, man.
Sure. All right.
It's bulletproof.
Well,
and wings.
Let's move into our second HBO Max movie that also came out in theaters. And I was like, I'm not seeing this shit in the theater. Cry Macho. Is it bad? No. It's an average movie.
It's sweet.
I think it would have been better if it had been anybody else in it, just because I don't buy Clint Eastwood in this role just because he's so old. You know what I'm saying?
I actually do buy him in this.
He's punching out people and everybody's like, oh, he's so fast. I'm like, he's not moving fast, baby.
It's
my man's is 91.
He threw that punch a half hour ago.
Yeah. And it shows. So that's why I'm saying you needed somebody a little younger, somebody in their 40s or 50s.
Right, beyond the physicality though. I mean, he's still got the acting chops.
Sure, and he could. I'll say this: he could still make a movie that looks great than what most people can.
My only issue with the movie has to do with how they did the flashback to when he got hurt in the rodeo. That was real awkward.
Yeah,
that was real awkward, and you didn't even need that.
No,
I didn't need to see him fall off the horse. That sounded like a decision based on a focus group. It was we really like to see him fall off the horse.
Yeah, I don't know. Cry Macho, it's a dad movie.
Right. It's Clint Eastwood doing a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it, but do I ever need to see it again now?
No. Oh yeah. It's cool. It's cool that a Western got made. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. It's cool that a Western got made, but I'm not going to tell, to our listeners, I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, definitely watch it because, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's not going to be a major awards contender. It's not going to be even high in Clint Eastwood's own filmography. It's just...
It's not a low point for him.
No.
So if he went out on this, God forbid, but if he went out on this, he could...
Which is not bad, just because my man's had a slump for a long time.
Right.
And thankfully, this ain't part of the slump. You know what I mean? That is, I mean, for a minute, he was just making ones where I'm just like, bro, really?
Yeah, if you liked Bridges of Madison County, it's got shades of Bridges of Madison County in it. it's like I said, it's a sweet movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into our man Antoine Fuqua's The Guilty.
Okay.
He's back, baby.
What the fuck happened with
Infinite? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Because I fuck with Antoine the long way, man. Like Brooklyn's Finest, even The Replacement Killers. Yo, he was always fine. Like he's never done a movie that I haven't like not enjoyed besides Infinite. Right? Yeah. So I want to hear the backstory on that because The Guilty.
You back, baby.
He back.
Yeah.
You know, like it is tense.
Yes.
It is fucking asshole clenching tense.
Yeah. And clearly, just want to say, didn't hinder my enjoyment of the movie, but Jake Gyllenhaal would have been pulled from 911 duty in a minute because he kept flipping out and screaming and yelling. Like, you know, their bosses would be like, all right, we got to get this nigga out of here.
Well, I mean, I know some 911 dispatchers and shit like that. It's like, and yeah, no, none of that shit would fly.
Yeah. So,
it's a Nick Pizzolatto. Like, how do you pronounce his name?
We'll say it like that, Nick Pizzolatto.
Nick Pizzolatto. I guess someone reined him in as well.
Oh, because what did he say in True Detective Season 2? I'm feeling very apathetic or apoplectic.
Apoplectic?
Yeah, some shit like that where I'm just like, gangsters don't talk like this, dude.
Right. So, like, also, like, they reined his ass in because even though I fuck with Season 2 of True Detective just because it's so bad and so weird, and I kind of like train wrecks.
You know, the only thing about Season 2 of True Detective I love is the escape from
the sex house.
Yeah, that shit freaked me the fuck out where they're hallucinating and shit. I was like, what the? And I've never watched that episode since just because I was like, that was a one and done. I will never watch that shit again. With the music is freaky too.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. So, but like, you know, the Guilty. I got nothing else to say. It's
shout out to Jake Gyllenhaal. He carrying that whole fucking movie on his back. My man's is really trying to win an Oscar. He's like the next Leonardo DiCaprio, where we sit there year after year, and I'm like, yo,
when is this guy gonna get an award?
Yeah. He might have to do what Leo did and just eat a fucking whole bison. You know what I mean? To the point where we're like, yo, can y'all just give it to him? Like, damn, y'all.
Wait, was Gyllenhaal? Was he nominated for Nightcrawler?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. It's getting to the point where I'm feeling bad. Where I'm like, yo, y'all just got to give it to him. Like, just give it to him, dude. Because
like he's earned it. Like Prisoners.
Yeah.
Enemy. Nightcrawler.
My man's has been in a lot. I mean, he's been great in a lot too. He's just been in so much where I'm just like, yo, y'all gotta just give it to him at this point. Like, I don't know what else this dude has to do in order to win.
You said it. Eat a bison. He's got to
eat a raw bison.
He's got to. So if Leonardo DiCaprio was mauled by a bear
and ate a raw bison,
so Jake Gyllenhaal
has to get mauled by 3 bears and eat 2 raw bisons.
That's how the Academy is giving out awards now. It's fucking survival of the fittest now.
Yeah, because you know,
it's man versus nature.
If it ain't boring, they don't care.
All right, there
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like I got nothing else to say about The Guilty. It is a tense. It's like, was it an hour and a half?
Yeah,
at the most. Like it's a tense,
hour and 40.
Yeah, it's a tense thriller.
Drops on Netflix this weekend.
Actually, it's in theaters now.
Is it? It's in theaters now, and then Netflix this weekend.
Right. So it drops on Friday. So if you get a chance, watch The Guilty. Do we give awards? Should we give like seal of approval or some shit like that?
I mean, all right, the Film Blurred seal of approval to
The Guilty.
I will say I love that line at the end that lady says to him. It got me where she's like, "Broken people save broken people." I was like, "Fuck." Y'all got me.
Hurt people hurt people, like, so, it's the same idea.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of famous people in there who played the people on the phone. Yeah, I can't remember them all, but I know his coworker's been in a lot of shit too.
The Spanish dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I could look up.
Yeah, man. Shout Shout out to Jake Gyllenhaal because he, everybody's like, why is this dude doing a Marvel movie? Because remember he played Mysterio in Far From Home. And they asked him
because money.
And they asked him, they're like, why are you doing a comic book movie? He's like, I always wanted to do a comic book movie, but I always wanted to be in it for one movie, and I wanted to make sure the story it was great. And I was like, my man.
All right, so his coworker is Adrian Martinez, and you've seen him in a lot of things.
Yes.
But all right, so voices. You got Peter Sarsgaard. You got Ethan Hawke. Let's see. Bo Knapp, Edie Peterson, Paul Dano. Yeah, so, I mean, it's got some, at least, you don't have any A-list stars, but you have indie darlings, at least, doing the voices.
Okay. All right. Well, look, man, Antoine Fuqua, maybe just stick with mid-budget stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because like, this couldn't have cost more than what?
40, 50.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stay away from Infinite, stuff like Infinite.
I don't know how that happened, man. Like, I don't know I don't know how you go from how do you go from, what was his last movie? No, he did Equalizer 2, right?
Yeah, Equalizer 2.
How do you go from Equalizer 2 to the Infinite and then give us this? Like, what happened with the Infinite?
Oh, speaking of Denzel and Antoine, let's make Equalizer 3. Like, I want to be in Equalizer 3. Like, let me be your partner. Like, you're training me to be an assassin, and me and you at the end, we take out like a bunch of. Like,
I'm here for it. I'm here. 100%.
Yo, give me my katana and my Mac 10, and I'll help you out in the Equalizer 3.
Yo, I've said this many times. My favorite genre of film is Denzel Washington out for revenge. That's my favorite genre of film.
And you know what? To give everybody a smile and to make everybody excited for this movie, at the end of it, you retire, and I say you were a great mentor, and then I'm like, all right, what am I going to do now? And who comes out from the shadows? Queen Latifah.
Oh, shit. Did you just world build?
That's right, baby.
Oh, shit.
Equalizer Cinematic Universe. And then I go on the TV show with the Mac 10 and Katana week by week.
So Paramount Plus, if you're listening.
Equalizer. Yo, let's get Equalizer 3 ready, and then we're going to roll it into Equalizer the show. So we keep this franchise going, baby.
I'm here for it.
Antoine and Denzel, if you hear this, call me or email me or leave
tweet.
Yeah, tweet at us something.
Yeah.
Hit my DMs. My DMs are always open on Insta and Twitter for business only. Sex box, go away.
I got nothing.
Yo,
I have my Twitter set up so when someone follows me, it automatically says, thank you for following me.
No, but I hate how on Instagram, how I'll have mad people looking at my stories, right?
Right.
I'll have like 50 people watching my stories, and then I'll go down and the other 5 is sex bots, and I'm like, do these sex bots ever work?
They've got to work. Cause
they all say the same thing with the fake pictures.
Like, some dude is always falling for this because they wouldn't keep doing it. But let me get back to the Twitter thing though. So like today I was searching and I got a follow from the description's like, oh, I'm a cam girl, 16-year-old cam girl. I was like, oh shit, no. Robot, bad robot.
Who fall besides awful people? Who falls for a 16-year-old cam girl?
I don't know. Horrible Joes, the Joes of the world.
Yo, my question is for all you thirsty dudes, how do you fall for the sex bots? That's my quick thing.
It's like, I'm so horny for you. Give me credit card number. I was like, oh yeah, I just met you, but give me a credit card number and here's my license.
And the thing is, on Instagram at least, I always click on the profiles. They always say the same thing. Like it says, I love sucking dick very much. And I'm just like, no girl talks like this, dude. Like no woman on the face of the earth says shit like this. Let me show you my pussy. And I'm just like, bro, nobody talks like
that.
this.
Is that how you say hello? This is our first interaction.
I was like, yeah, no girls profile is going to be, oh man.
Yeah, that's like, yeah. The first thing you see is like, they actually spell that out in their profile description.
You know what? If you fall for that, you did that. Yeah, you deserve that. You deserve that. You felt you an idiot.
It's like, oh yeah, so you're an 800-pound dude who lives in his mom's basement, but this hottie from Thailand, she found you out, your pictures of fucking whatever sandwich you ate today, and she's like, she's so wet for you, man. Yeah, Yeah, she's good. She's good to go.
Yeah.
And you know she's good to go because it says in her profile, I love suck dick much. Very.
Oh my God. All right. This is episode 20. We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, aka He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best.
It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.